You okay?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Eric.
We are talking about the movie simply called Law, and this one is directed by Kristian, Larsen and Manwill, who also wrote this movie, and stars Lyndsey Lantz and Max Lesser. So this is I guess a horror drama to a certain degree, because there's not a lot of horror on display here, but nonetheless it certainly deals with supernatural elements, and there are a couple of creepy moments. So what's the story here? Well, we have these two parents that are going through a divorce. They're not getting on, and they have a teenage son, and he's obviously kind of caught in the middle. Now, this teenage son decides he's going to go camping in the this kind of Native American mountain area, and he goes missing. And these two parents have to try and reconcile their differences to try and find their son. Now, the police have given up looking. There's a short cameo by Eric Roberts within the movie. I say kind of the lead police officer. He's only in one scene, so you don't expect to see much of him here, just to give the movie a named actor, so to speak. So they enlist the help of this Native American tracker who really doesn't want to help them, but ends up doing so anyway. And they go up this mountain, and then they discover there may well be supernatural shenanigans going on there in the form of potentially these skinwalkers, although they are called a number of different things. What will happen? You have to watch the movie to find out. So let's discuss Law. So, is this movie I Am the Law? No, it's not that type of law. We have a pretty decent performance, I feel, from our three central characters here. This married couple and this Native American tracker here. I thought all do have a good performance. Each one of them, I think, really kind of sells the fact that they are characters in them. You don't see them as actors. You do feel that they are legitimate, the characters they are playing, which is obviously what an actor is meant to do. I really believe this married couple, for example, because of the way they interact, they're not shouting at each other a lot, but you can see that there's tension there. So even though we don't see, for example, a lot of the kind of goings on behind what led up to their divorce, you certainly get the sense just through subtle kind of performances that these guys have a complex kind of past. And there is still feelings there, but they're clearly kind of on different paths within their lives. And that's all done through the performances. Now, that may have nothing to do with the actual horror element, but it means you have believable characters here that you can kind of get behind. So to me, if you can get believable characters in your movie that you kind of care about and you understand their motivations, then you're halfway there into a good movie to begin with. So that was the first thing for me. This is all filmed on location, I believe, somewhere in Idaho, and it looks great. I mean, you have this kind of these strange kind of Native American symbols as you kind of go further up the mountain. That all seems kind of quite ominous, and as the movie goes on, it drip feeds us information in regards to possible antagonists here that we might see, and the kind of the mystery that is surrounding this particular mountain. And then we're giving through, to be fair, some areas of exposition here, the history of what might actually be living in this mountain and what it could mean for these guys who are exploring up there. And the movie, I think, does a good job here of having an air of eerie suspense as kind of night approaches. There seems to be something rustling in the trees, and our three kind of protagonists, really, what's going to happen to them. I feel this movie really does benefit from having some great location shooting. They do some nice wide shots here. With low budget movies, sometimes they fall victim to really have a lot of tight shots because they can't afford to have much in the way of sets and things like that. But this one, because it is filmed on location, really can have some quite beautiful kind of scenery shots here. And there's a scene towards the end with this canyon with this lake. It looks absolutely breathtaking, so that was all fantastic. What doesn't work? I feel this movie is maybe a little bit slow for some people. You'll find that there's a lot of character moments within the film, but the plot is relatively slow paced and not a lot is revealed through the movie, and I feel the kind of the payoff for this movie, or their lack thereof, may be disappointing to some. If you're expecting to have a finish where there's kind of lots kind of going on and things are kind of all explained, then you may well be disappointed here. So I feel that this movie, although it does show a few cards, it certainly doesn't show the full deck, and I feel some people may be kind of a little bit disappointed in regards to the lack of any kind of thing really on screen. It almost feels like, in a way, a found footage film. It isn't a found footage film, it is a traditional style camera work here. But when we only get the kind of the glimpses of things that are going on in most found footage films, it has that sort of same process in regards to whatever's out in the woods. And I've got to say, what we do see isn't particularly impressive. It's more just looks like dirty feral humans rather than anything really particularly kind of supernatural or fantastical. So I was a little bit kind of disappointed that we didn't really see anything too kind of otherworldly or sort of scary, to be honest, considering the build-up that is given throughout the movie. And it does feel like it's building towards something kind of particularly horrifying or scary, and it never really kind of materialises because of that. So as it stands at the moment, I feel this movie works well as a drama. It's a little bit light on plot, and I feel the pace of it could have done with a little bit more kind of going on. And the payoff, I feel, although I wouldn't say it was disappointing, I feel some people may be disappointed with it, if that makes sense. Some people may like it just fine, and I don't think it was necessarily a bad payoff, but there was just not a big one in all fairness. So I hope that makes sense. Should you watch this movie if you like slow-paced, kind of more drama-based horror? Then I think it's definitely worth a watch. I feel it's certainly well-made movie and well-acted with believable and likeable characters, which, like I've said, I think goes a big way with me. So I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. I actually kind of enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the subtleness of it, but I feel for certain audiences they maybe want a little bit more going on. 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.